I'm going to do this SAT as fast as possible. I look at the answers first, and I see that the first one would be 6x squared, so that could eliminate those two. Here they accidentally added. And then the last term would be a 6, so I know I don't have to worry about the middle term. The answer has to be C. Now for the second problem, you could FOIL it out. I'm here to show shortcuts though. Then the second problem here, this one is, because it's a PDF file, it's hard for me to push down. But let's see the second problem. F of -2 means I'm going to plug in for x a -2. So when I plug in a -2, I get -4 minus 11, so it has to be -15 because we're adding. And I just realized I'm on the calculator section, so I have to start all over. Oh my God, I'm doing the non-calculator first. No, let's start from scratch. So I'm not going to stop the video. Okay. First question here, what is the solution to the system of equations? That's where the line intersects, so that looks like -1, 2, which is choice B. I'm going to hop over here. They want you to add. There's only 1 3x to the fifth, so that eliminates A. And then I noticed that these are all the same. So now I just have to, I'm not even going to look at x cubed. I'm going to look at x squared. -2x squared plus 4x squared is 2x squared. And this is the only one that has a 2x squared, and then I'm done. Of course, you could just add it all up. I'm just here to show you how to do the test as quick as possible. The next one, if C of the checkers are already painted, which of the following is the number of additional minutes needed to finish painting? A checkers enthusiast, oh my goodness, is customizing a checker set by painting a design on each of the 24 checkers in the set. Okay, so it takes 35 minutes to paint. So there's 24 checkers and already C were painted. So I definitely have to do 24 minus C, and C is the only choice that has that. I'm going to move on. Number 4. Which is the equation of line M? Now, line M is, L is shown and M is parallel. So let me get the slope here. Down 2 over 3. So the slope has to be 2 over 3. So let me check the choices. This PDF file is very annoying here. There's only one slope with a negative down 2 over 3. I know it's a negative slope, so I could cross out the positives here. Now this one, number 5, when it's in the ax plus by form, I could get the slope really quickly. It's negative a over b, so that's -5 over 4. Now they want the slope of this line, so these two are out. And now I have to get the y-intercept. So really, I would have to bring the constant over, and then I would have to divide by 4, so A has to be the answer. So I know it's going to be a negative. Now, next question. What is the solution? Now, instead of me well, it might be faster to cross multiply. If I cross multiplied, it's 2x minus 2 equals 3x plus 3. Here, sometimes the kids forget to distribute to both, so it might be easier to just back solve and plug in, but I'm going to do it this way and get x is -5, and then the answer is A. Now here, what's the solution set? I'm going to see if there's any repeats. Well, basically, it's not bad because it's already in factored form, so you're just taking the inside and you're setting it equal to 0. Some kids might want to accidentally FOIL it out. So definitely x is a half, so I eliminated these two. And then this is a double root at -2, so that's the answer. You're not going to have 3 answers here. Then here, You have to distribute the negative to both terms here. And now I'm going to rewrite what I already have. And then I'm going to get 1 plus 1i. So choice B is the answer. We're just adding. Now for number 10 here, 2 is a 0 of the function. So what is the value of k? Now, if you know the sum of the roots is negative b over a, and we have b and a, I know that the sum of the roots is 11 over 1, or 11. So I already have one root, and then the second root has to equal 11. So 2 plus 9. I'm getting this one wrong. Let me think here what I'm doing wrong. Negative b over a means 11 over 1. So the sum of the roots is 11. Yeah, this isn't working this way. 2 is a 0. So let me do it this way. 2 squared minus 11 times 2 plus k equals 0. I'm going to plug in the x value. So that's 4 minus 22 plus k equals 0. And then it will be negative 18 plus k, so then it has to be 18. Let's see. Here, which is equivalent, well, this one needs a 2 so that they have the same bottom. And then it's 4 minus 1 over 6x squared. And 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 over 6x squared. This could be reduced because it's a monomial over a monomial. And then the answer is D. Based on the function, which is true. And it looks like the 60 represents the original amount and the 3 represents tripling. So I'm going to cross out the word double. I see 2 triples here. And t days, it's t divided by 2, so it triples every 2 days because it's the number of days divided by 2. Now if I continue, this one, you have y equals 9x minus 8 and y equals x squared, and they want to see where it intersects, so I'm just going to set the two y's equal to each other, and I see it's a quadratic, so I'm going to bring everything over to the x squared, and I'm going to factor. 8 to give me a 9 is 8 and 1, ends in a positive. The signs are both the same as the middle, so I'm getting x is 1 and x is 8. We want the sum of the x coordinates, so 8 and 1 make 9. Here, which expression is equivalent? Well, the easy part is to do 3 times the 2/3, so it's x squared. So this is out and this is out because we need x squared. So now we're down to c and d. And then we have negative 4 raised to the 2/3, and that's power over root. So it's the cubed root of negative 4 squared. And if you want, you could write negative 4 as negative 2, and I have to do that twice because here's my 4 squared and 4 squared. So now since I have cubed root here, I could take 1 triple out and leave 1 in. And that's why the answer is this one. And this one just looks wrong anyway. We're not going to have 16 left over, but we could take 2 out 3 times and leave 1 in. So choice C is the answer. Now, here, cosine of x is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it looks like they multiplied the answer by 4. So really, this is, let me think. Oh, never mind. I'm going to do this one. I know cosine of angle 30 is radical 3 over 2 because you're supposed to have that memorized. So this is actually a 30-degree ratio, which is x, x radical 3, and 2x. So we see here x is actually a 4 because it's 4 times as much. So I'm going to say x is 4 because that's what length AB is. Now here, what value satisfies this equation? Well, if I have to multiply this one by x minus 1 and this one by x, and if we do that, everything cancels at the bottom. So you have x minus 1 plus x equals 0. So I'm getting 2x minus 1 equals 0. And when you bring the 1 over and then divide by 2, you get x equals a half. Now here, what's the slope of this line? Well, they gave you the x and the y, and they gave you the x and the y, because that's what this means. That's the x value, and that's the y. So I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 16 minus 12 is 4, and then 4 over 2 is 2. Here they want you to convert to radians, so I have to multiply by pi over 180, so that cancels. And then maybe I'm going to rewrite 54 as 9 times 6 and rewrite 18 as 9 times 2. And then I could reduce it to 3 instead of long division. And now the last one, oops. Let's see, Tamika is ordering desktop computers. The desktop computers cost $375 each, and tax is an additional 6%. So you always put a 1 in front, and you have to move the decimal over 2 places because it's 100% plus the 6%. So to do it in one swoop, you put a 1 in front whenever they're talking about tax, 1.06. Okay, now if she can spend no more than $40,000, what's the maximum number, so less than or equal to 40,000 computers that Tamika can purchase? So now I actually have to do 375 times 1.06, and I have to remember 5 times 6 is 30, 7 times 6 is 42, so that's 45, 3 times 6 is 18, so that's 22. Then I got to bring down a 0, and that's a 0, so I'm going to ignore that one, bring down another 0. 5 times 1, 7 times 1, 3 times 1. So when I add this all up, I hope I can move this over. Oop. 5, 7, 9. So I'm going to round to, it's roughly $400 per computer. So since we have 40,000 and it's a little less, I'm going to, if I multiply that by 100, that, oh my God, this is so horrible. So since it's 40,000, we have 400, and I multiply by 100, I will have the answer. So it's 100 computers. I think I finished.